Hi everyone, welcome to another review. So this week I'm going to be reviewing Thin Lizzy's sixth studio album Jailbreak, which was released in 1976, which was a while ago. There is 9 songs on the album. So this album, there were some songs on that I hadn't heard, some which I'd heard maybe once or twice. So with that being the case, when I'm reading the reviews of some of the songs, I may just my headphones quickly just to have a quick listen to a song. I can't play it because of copyright reasons, and just so I know which one it is. So I'm going to talk a bit about the artwork for this one. It's quite cool. The fact that the surrounding image is grey and black, then you've got the almost like coloured TV with the guys running in a bright yellow, really draws your eyes into that, and the fact that they're running and the album is called Jailbreak, it's certainly suitable. So people say that this was their sort of last chance as a band. The previous 2 albums hadn't done that well, so looking at this album, it reached number 10 in the UK albums. It was 18 in the US Billboard 200. I thought it would have done better than that, in all honesty. Boys Are Back in Town reached number 1 in Ireland, which I would expected. UK singles, it reached number 8. But yeah, I thought they would have done a lot better, the singles and the album as a whole. I thought they would have been higher up in the charts, in all honesty. I think they've actually become bigger and more famous with age, actually, though. So Jailbreak also reached 31 in the UK singles. I literally wrote here, that's shocking. Like, I really thought it would have done better. I've seen a lot less famous songs do better than that. Again, I think it's one of those songs that has got better with age, like more popular. Yeah, so I'm going to talk a bit about Thin Lizzy and Phil Lynott. Lynott. People pronounce his second name differently, honestly. If you watch videos, I think there was a recent article where his daughters was saying how they actually pronounce his name. So I'm just going to call him Phil. Then there's no... if you want to just actually hear the review, then just skip. I might put a time on to actually where you want to skip it, because I am going to talk about Thin Lizzy. So I'm just going to read my review here that I've got on my laptop. I think I was shocked when I started researching Thin Lizzy, and how hard it was for them to get in the charts, to get the recognition that they deserved. They were such a phenomenal band, and I find it quite hard to believe that it was so difficult for them to get that success. They deserve so much better. They are so unique as a band. Honestly, I've never heard anything like them. And there were a lot of bands around at the time that I thought weren't that great. I'm not going to name them because it's down to personal opinion. And they did better than Thin Lizzy, and I was like, Thin Lizzy was so much better than them, so why were they not as successful? I mean, was it down to kind of the lives they were leading, and a lot of stuff did go on. I mean, fans of the band will know about the situations that the members got themselves into. I think sometimes maybe that had a bit of a bad effect. Maybe that's what people have said online. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. What have I wrote here? Yeah, I mean, a lot of other bands that did better, I feel like, were a lot less creative and a lot less aspiring, and they blew up in fame, and Thin Lizzy didn't. When they are really creative and really aspiring, and it's a shame, it really is. And I feel like they were like proper musicians as well. They were, yeah. I just should have done better, man. Yeah, a lot of stuff did go down with that band. So yeah, I'm going to talk about Phil. Phil, I mean, it breaks my heart. Honestly, it does, of what happened to him and that he's no longer around. Yeah, I mean, it's really sad. It is. I've watched the documentaries about him, where his friends and bandmates talk about him, and a lot of the time you'll see his mother in these documentary videos, and she literally was his #1 fan, which was lovely to see. he didn't have an easy life. He didn't. He deserved so much better. He really did. And he deserved the songs that he wrote to do better and to get more recognition. Thin Lizzy's work should have been acknowledged more. I am saying a lot again. Yeah, I thought Thin Lizzy, another band that I grew up listening to, mainly just the popular ones, are like Jailbreak and Boys Are Back in Town. But actually, when I really started getting into them last year, I realised actually I did know a lot more songs than I thought. And I thought they were a lot bigger back in the day, but when I actually started researching them and I realised they weren't. I mean, probably everyone knew who they were, but they just didn't get that chart success of what they should have done. Yeah, there's no two songs that sound the same with Thin Lizzy, and the capability of that band was so impressive. I mean, the amount of songs they wrote, Phil's ability to write lyrics. I know some of the other band members helped with lyric writing, but it was mainly Phil. He just had an idea and it just flowed brilliantly. I mean, it's hard to find a good lyricalist. Is that a word? Now it really is. Yeah, so much content with them, which is really great. Being a big fan of them, having so much to listen to, quite a few music videos as well, compared to other bands at that time, and they're quite good quality videos as well. So yeah, I got into them last year, and I was really captured by Phil. His just presence, his charm, it really drew me into the band. And actually, I think that is one of the reasons why I really started watching the music videos and researching about them, watching the documentaries. It's quite interesting also that because they're Irish, they talk a lot in their songs about the Troubles and are inspired by things like that. It's almost like a lot of their songs are quite historic in that way as well. Yeah, also with Phil, he's got that unique voice. Again, not heard anyone like him. And the fact that he played bass as well, and I think he just kind of picked that up as well. He was just like, I'm gonna play bass, and he just learnt along the way, I believe. Which is really great. Real great. Accomplishment. Yeah, it's quite unusual to see a frontman playing bass. I mean, normally it's electric guitar, so with the bass, and he was good at it. He was, and the music is it's like nothing I've heard before. It honestly isn't. It's so unique. Not heard any band do what Lizzy did. Phil's writing was so personal to him as well, which made the songs really good. He didn't like kind of hold back on that aspect of lyric writing. Yeah, I think he was one of the best songwriters to exist. I do believe that. I mean, the song Sarah, for example, about his daughter, is one of those to point out as being a more personal song. And he wasn't afraid to write stuff either. I mean, a prime example is Killer on the Loose, which was released at the time of the Yorkshire Ripper. And actually, I think it was that long ago. It's crazy to think it was actually that long ago. But yeah, the music video actually got banned at the time. It's available now on YouTube. But yeah, he wrote about everything. He wrote about war, soldiers. A lot of the songs are about that, or just crime in general. He wrote quite a lot of songs about crime. Yeah. So throughout Thin Lizzy's time, the members did change a bit, which does happen. I mean, look at Whitesnake. The members of Whitesnake have changed a lot over the years. But with this album here, and I think actually when I think of Thin Lizzy, this is the lineup I think of. So obviously Phil, lead singer. Well, he's always been the lead singer. Scott Gorham on the guitar. Brian Robertson, who I know as the Scottish guy, again on guitar, and Brian Downey on the drums. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the review. Again, if I have to pick my headphones up to have a listen to a song just to know what it is, because some of these ones I haven't listened to much. So, number 1 is Jailbreak, which obviously is one of Thin Lizzy's most famous songs. Do I really need to say anything about this one? Okay, so that guitar, you've got that riff which runs throughout the whole song, which is quite simple, but it's fantastic at the same time. As soon as you hear that, you know it's this song straight away. It's still played quite a lot, I think. And you've got that kind of doon, 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 doon. It's that typical sound of, well, Jailbreak, you know it's that straight away. The lyrics are well wrote, everything fits so well in this song. You know, it's, yeah, I'm just reading what I wrote here. Yeah, so when Phil says you know it's safer, it's almost like he's speaking that a bit more, and then you get followed by the breakout, which he says, and then you get the sirens, and that's just a really different thing to put in a song, and it really works. And I think that's why this song's so popular, because there's lots of things going on in the song. It's not just all the same all the way through. Yeah, they could have easily not done those aspects and it would have still been great, but the fact that they did put those aspects in, it just makes the song a star. It does. The verses rhyme so well as well, next to each other, and those added lines that Phil speaks more than sings, again, just adds another flavour to the song. And I think this song, Phil really does set a scene. It's essentially a story, and yeah, it's a great song. So number 2, Angel from the Coast. Now, this is one of these ones I'm going to just have a quick listen to while I talk through it. So, I had heard this one before, but not too much. But I knew what it was. Says me who's literally like listening to it right now when this advert of a sofa ends. Let's close that. Okay, yeah. Just gonna go through this bit. Okay. So it's a catchy guitar in this one, and it's more than one repeated piece of guitar in this one, which adds diversity, because some of the other songs in the album is just the same riff. I think I'm trying to like learn my music terminology a bit more here, because I believe a riff is when it's the repeated chords throughout the song, whereas like a lick or a solo is just a specific point in the song. I think, like, yeah, I think I might be wrong there. I'm not a musician. I'm just reviewing the music. So yeah, it's quite fast. This one. Yeah, you've got in this one the guitar sounds like a bow. That's I like that. Like that a lot. Really like that quick guitar piece in this bit. It's almost similar to something like in Grease, the movie. I can't remember which song it is. I think it's the one where they're dancing. It's the dance, that song. And they're like doing that. I think it's that song. It does sound a bit similar to that. It reminded me of that anyway. Nice drums in this one. The more it goes on, the more I like it actually. At times I felt like it was almost like you were listening to 2 different songs, which was interesting. Which I hadn't really heard much done before. If I have, it hasn't worked, but it has worked in this case. Okay, so number 3 is Running Back. So the start is really nice. There's a bit of I think saxophone in this as well, and I really just love Phil's voice in this one, and his songwriting is absolutely spot on. I recognise this song, but again, it's not one of those ones I was particularly familiar with, which is why I'm just gonna have a quick listen. But I'm sure in the weeks to come I will definitely like know this like it's Jailbreak, because I'm going to be listening to it more. Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, funny enough, this is the one that's actually been stuck in my head all week, yeah. That it's quite a nice one, yeah. So what have I wrote here? Yeah, I will certainly be listening to it more. Definitely. It's one of those nice songs. Nice. I use the word nice a lot, but it is. Yeah, so I like the bit where Phil says, I be coming running, and then he almost takes a little bit of a pause, and then I come run back to you again. It's nice that. It's clever. Just that simple break just adds a bit more to it. And I like how the end of that line where he sings again, he changes the tone of his voice slightly. Yeah. I think when you just listen to songs, you don't realise these little aspects, but when you really listen to it in detail, when you're actually reviewing something, you've noticed these things a lot more. I think it really adds a bit more emotion to the song by him doing this. He could have just left it at, also, yeah, that's a good point. So when he sings, I'd come running back to you again, he could have just left it at you. He didn't have to put that again on, but he did, because he was Phil and he's a brilliant songwriter. There is a repeated sound throughout most of the song, which is a little bit repetitive, but absolutely fine, absolutely fine. In the end bit where Phil's like going my tra la 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 la, like that a lot as well. Okay, so the next one is Romeo and Lonely Girl. Right. Let me just look. So I know which one that is. That's an advert. YouTube's adverts are literally getting longer. So they'll be like a minute by Christmas. Yeah. So this one again, I don't think I'd heard actually till I reviewed the album. But I have listened to these a few times. I didn't just listen to them once and write the review. It definitely has that iconic Thin Lizzy sound, which actually isn't just one sound. There's a set of sounds. I believe there's like, you could honestly group Thin Lizzy songs into different sounds, but they're still Thin Lizzy sounds. And this one's, it's one of those more like jazzy sort of quick paced sounds, but at the same time it's very like smooth. They just knew how to do it really good. Like they honestly did. It's great. It really is. Yeah, it's a good song. Did listening to it more. Right, number 5 is Warriors, which I did know, but I'm just going to, let's come up with that. Okay, no, not that one. I'm just gonna, I think I do, I've got it in my head. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So with this one actually, it's not my favourite on the album. That's just me personally. It's not a bad song. It's just my personal choice, opinion, whatever you want to call it. There's nothing that stands out wrong with it or anything. It's just not for me. But weirdly enough, as we get to the end, I actually really like that bit. With that guitar lick in there and the drums and then the repeating bit of guitar in that, and almost like a choir sound of voices as well. So yeah, it's a bit of mixed feelings. I'm not really that keen on it, but I do prefer the ending to that song. Okay, so number 6, here we have it. The Boys Are Back in Town. I've wrote quite a bit about this one. Yeah, I probably think this is probably more famous than Jailbreak, I'd say. Really a song that has stood the test of time. I'd say it's their biggest hit. Especially for modern day playing, it does get played quite a lot. I mean, I've actually lost count the amount of times I've seen a number of lads uploading photos, they're going out and they've literally captioned it, "The boys are back in town." Or even videos of them walking down the street somewhere and they've got "Boys Are Back in Town" playing in the background. So yeah, it's still getting played now quite a lot. I mean, do they know it's a Thin Lizzy song? Maybe. Do they know who Thin Lizzy is? Probably not, but it's getting played. So that's good. Be good if they actually researched the band and listened to some more of their songs. Right, Yeah, the song is fabulously written, I've wrote here. Again, like Jailbreak, the vocals and the music fits perfectly, and I think that's why it was a big song for them. The lyrics are so different and quirky, but it works. There's a lot going on in this song again, like Jailbreak. I mean, some of the lyrics, man, I think those cats are crazy. Driving the old men crazy. Again, using, like, linking a line here to another line. The verses work really well in Lizzy songs, they do. Yeah, I think with other songs on the album, you can often hear that same riff quite. You can hear that quite well, the same thing going all the way through. Whereas with this one, you can't. I don't know if that's because it's hidden with all the other sounds, or it is just they are not using the same riff all the way through. They've used different guitar pieces along the way. Someone's gonna be watching this thinking she hasn't got a clue what she's talking about. I'm not a musician. I'm not. Alright, okay. Yeah. Yeah, the guitar and the drums work brilliantly side by side. It just feels, it's a feel good song. It really gets you going. Which is why I think it's really popular when people are going out, especially back in the day when people were going out in pubs. I think it was played a lot in pubs at the time. Yeah, I love the storytelling behind this one, which is often seen in Thin Lizzy songs, and you don't really realise it until you really listen to the lyrics. But this one, it's quite obvious actually. And I think the lyrics a lot of people can relate to as well. Yeah, I just wrote here, I wish I was around in those times. Like when you had people going out to the pubs and you just had all the communities. I mean, a lot of communities around here were mining communities, and yeah, whereas now you just got like these dark rooms with sticky floors and Justin Bieber playing on repeat. How times have changed. Right, so Dino's Bar and Grill is actually a real place, you know. Won't be long till summer comes. I often listen to this song in winter to hear that specific line, because like when it's really dark and all miserable and you just hear Phil singing "Won't be long till summer comes," you're like, yeah, keeps you going a bit. Getting a bit of a different meaning, but yeah. Right, number 7, Fight or Fall. Let's have a quick listen. Yeah, so when I first listened to this one, I think a bit. It has, so another Thin Lizzy song called I'm Still in Love with You, it has those vibes. It's similar. I know I said literally none of their songs are the same, and they're not, but it is similar. So I hadn't heard this one before. The soul in Phil's voice is really nice. You've got that do do do, which I guess as I listen to this more, I know that this is this song just from that, which again, Thin Lizzy songs are like that. You have something very specific in the song which makes you realise it's that song. The guitar's a bit softer in this one. Yeah, with my favourite word, nice, I do conclude that this song is a nice song. Yeah, I need to find some adjectives to use, I already do. Right, yeah, this is funny actually. So the bit where Phil sings "Brother, Brother," it honestly, when I heard it, I thought, huh, it really sounds like a modern singer. He's called Jezero. He's a Californian singer. Go and check him out. Sounds a bit like, just when Phil sings "Brother, Brother," it really sounds like him. Yeah. Number 8, Cowboy Song. I knew this one quite well. It starts off quite simple, and you've got Phil and the guitar, and again he's setting a scene, he's setting a story, he's very descriptive, which I love, and it's almost like a campfire story, and then we get this different sounding piece of guitar, and then the drums, and it builds, and it's a completely different song almost from what we started as. And if there was a cowboy film to come out, here's your song for it. Just want to point out how clear the lyrics are in this. And Phil was known for that, for singing lyrics really clearly. You could really understand what he was saying. And the song slows down a bit similar to the beginning, so that was like a full circle effect, which was nice. And running free from the buffalo lyric I liked a lot, because you have a Thin Lizzy song called Genocide, Killing of the Buffalo, so it was a nice link to that. I don't know if that was deliberate. I don't probably think it was, but I just made that connection, which was nice, as a Thin Lizzy fan. And the last guitar boom at the end closes the song very well. So number 9, the last song on the album, is Emerald, and I had heard this one before. It's quite a good name of a song for an Irish band. Yeah, I love the overall sound on this one, and Brian does a brilliant job on the drums. And the guitar is really fast, and then it goes off, and we get another sound. The guitar's fantastic in this one because it changes up a bit. It's not just the same kind of set of chords over and over again. It's quite different parts in the song as we go throughout it. A lot of people were saying in the comments that it's almost a bit like Iron Maiden, and like bands like Iron Maiden would have listened to Thin Lizzy and they would have been inspired by Thin Lizzy. And actually, yeah, I can hear in this song aspects which would be in an Iron Maiden song. I will be reviewing some Iron Maiden stuff, by the way. Especially the drums in this song, quite similar to Iron Maiden stuff. I just wrote in here, if you're ever questioning to go and see Iron Maiden live, go and do it, because honestly, they're phenomenal. Their stage presence, setting is unbelievable. I mean, Bruce, the lead singer, he's almost like an actor as well as a singer. He really just sets a scene. It's fantastic. The atmosphere is brilliant, and the actual musical concert is great as well. So overall, the album, the biggest thing that kind of came to me was, in a lot of the songs, you have got a riff which is repeated quite like all the way through, which does happen in more songs. I am aware of that, but I think with this album it's quite, you can really hear it. But again, that's fine. I think with being Thin Lizzy as well, it enables their songs to be easily recognised because of them repeating chords, and when they do change it, you really notice that change, and it kind of just makes the song actually better, and because you really jump and notice that change. And I think that's quite a unique thing for Thin Lizzy to do, and like I say, I think they can pull that off because they were just so good at writing songs. I think with their songs, they're quite familiar sounding, and a lot of their songs, like the softer sounding songs, are quite comforting as well, which is really hard for musicians to do, I think, but they pull it off. I think with Thin Lizzy you can either have hard and rocky songs, which isn't really seen as much on here. For example, like Chinatown, and but a lot of the songs are softer, and actually the lyrics might be something rather serious, but actually they have the ability to still create a calm song, even though the lyrics can be quite about a serious subject, and an enjoyable song to listen to as well. And again, it's a hard thing to do, and they pull it off every time. But overall, it's a good album. It's a good album. I will be listening to it more. I really want to get to know those songs I hadn't heard to, or heard a little bit more. So I don't have to be thinking, what is that? And have a listen. I want to know what it is from just my mind. I do think the most famous songs, Jailbreak and Boys Are Back in Town, are the best on the album. I think it's because, with me personally, it's because they have more sounds. It's more's going on, and personally I like that in a song. Whereas the songs where it's the same guitar, I prefer when the guitar changes. Yeah. So crikey, half an hour been rambling on. Again, skip through this video. So to the parts you want to listen to if you want to listen to them. So but back to the music video, film review, film review. I give a clue on the last video of what I'm going to reviewing. You might have guessed it. It's Halloween. The film. There weren't a lot of actually proper reviews of it on YouTube. It was just people talking about what happened. It wasn't actually, and yeah, you do have to talk about what happens and then have your opinion on it, but they weren't having an opinion on it. They were just explaining what happened, which that wasn't a review in my opinion. So yeah, mine will be a review of my opinions. As I just basically watch it, I've wrote down my phone of my thoughts and I'm going to read that out. I'm not really going to say much on it because you can watch the review to find out my thoughts on that. It has been filmed. I have filmed that one, and I did watch Halloween 2 the other night as well, and I have wrote the review, but I haven't filmed the video for it. Looking at next album reviews, I have wrote half the review for Diamond Star Halos of Def Leppard. I'm still listening to the second half. I really want to get to know it more before I write the second half of the review. Overall, yeah, it's for the first half anyway. It's alright. It's not gonna be another Hysteria. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting maybe it to sound more like the 2015 album, but it doesn't really sound like that either, so it is completely different really. I did get a comment recommending to listen to Lou Graham's second album, so I will be doing that at some point. Possible review there. Now, all the reviews I have done have been male artists, male bands, so I'm going to change it up a bit, and I'm going to take us back to the 80s again. I'm going to take us back to 1985. Which in particular is one of those 80s years which I would really have wished to have been around in, just to have seen Survivor play in Japan. Brilliant concert. Good quality on YouTube as well. So the next album I will be reviewing is Heart's album, Heart, their 8th studio album, which has some quite big hits on there, such as Never and These Dreams. Heart is not one of those bands that I've researched much into. They're not a one I'm a huge fan of, but that might be set to change as I listen to them more. But I have been listening to them a bit recently, mainly their hits, so I thought I'm gonna look at it. Was Never I was listening to quite a lot, and I thought, what album's that off? And I found it, and I thought I'm gonna review this album. So I think there is some on there that I haven't heard, so that'd be cool to listen to those. Film wise, I do intend to watch all the Halloween films, so yeah, I probably will upload all the videos for the reviews for them. I think the story probably does get better, hopefully, because the first one was a bit. Again, I'm not going to say anything because you can watch the review. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned in the other video, or on the video I just recorded, I don't know which one. How I really want to review Rambo, but I'm gonna have to buy the DVDs first. So yeah. Or if I come across another 70s, 80s film that I think, oh yeah, I'll watch that, review that, then I'll do that. So yeah, that's it for this review. Sorry it went on for 33 minutes, I really need to cut down. But it's not just a review, I talk about the band as well. So you can always skip past that to actually see the review. So yeah, keep a lookout for the Halloween review video. Thanks for watching everyone, take care.